What's that?
It's a Speed Racer theme.
Oh, of course. How could I get that wrong?
Dude, Speed Racer, best theme song ever.
But not the best adaptation from an anime to a live-action film ever.
No, it really wasn't.
Not at all. But anyway, welcome everybody to episode 26 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Robert.
And I'm Alex.
All right, so on to the pointless interlude of sports.
2-minute pointless interlude about sports. That often goes over 2 minutes. But anyway.
How are we going to keep the gushing down to 2 minutes?
Man, the Mac attack is back.
He looks so good.
Khalil Mack, dude. Everything people were saying about him, it's all happening.
That defense, all they needed, man. They just needed a leader. And oh man, the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. It's quite a leader to have on your squad.
He's earning it, though.
I would say so.
There's nothing. I mean, I don't understand what more he'd need to do for you to be satisfied with, or he's doing everything right.
Yeah, he's firing up everybody. He got our man
he's
Prince.
Got couple sacks at least already.
Yeah, at least per game. He has at least two. Yeah,
2 strip fumbles.
Mm-hmm. And he got our guys to rah and win. Prince Amukamara getting that interception.
Oh man, that was so huge because Prince Amukamara had a not great fourth quarter against the Packers.
He's had a not great couple of years. I guess they said this is the first interception he's had in 40 games.
Even still, it's just what a huge play that was.
Oh yeah, that was scary.
Khalil Mack is contagious, man. He just you know what I noticed? If he didn't make the sack, he caused someone else to. Mm-hmm. He just makes people around him play better. It's similar to with Kane when he'd play with Panarin. Mm-hmm. And who else? One of the other dudes who turned out to be not great when he went somewhere else. I can't remember his name. Blanking out.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, but the point is, Khalil Mack, he just makes people around him better.
Yeah, man, they were roughing up my former favorite Bear from a time ago, Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
It's making me sad, but you know what? Got to get the win, and it was an important win. Our first home opener win in 5 years.
Against a Seahawks team with a battered defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be negative Nancy, but that just annoyed me. I wanted to beat them we still did beat them for real. Mm-hmm. But again, they gave us a little bit of a scare in the fourth quarter.
It's Russell Wilson, man, and I was shocked that, what's the one guy, Tyler Lockett?
Yes.
On their team. I know they don't have Doug Baldwin, which is he's their number one, but they got some weapons there, but yeah, that O-line is not great.
Right.
But anyway, any other sports news items that caught your fancy?
Yes. First of all, I have to look up that other Blackhawks name because this is pissing me off that I forgot.
Okay, well, while you do so, I'll give my little bit of 2 cents on the Cubs recently. Oh man, the past couple of days have been a little bit better because we have had 2 games against the Diamondbacks and 2 wins against the Diamondbacks. This was a series that was really freaking me out, especially since at the start of this past weekend we were, a game and a half ahead of Milwaukee only. Now we're 3.5 games ahead, I think, currently. At the time of this video, of you hearing this, it could be better or worse. But they at least won't be tied with us or ahead of us.
Chris Versteeg. Jesus
oh, God.
Christ.
There's a name. There's a blast from the past.
Yeah. Okay, I knew it was something.
God. Yeah, no, I get what you mean, though.
Yeah,
Khalil Mack is one of those guys. He's magnetic.
He just makes people contagious. So that's that.
Is that it for sports?
Yeah. Well, Cubs. That was cool how the guy called the shot.
Oh, Jim Deshaies?
Yeah.
Chris Bryant's first home run in 2 months. And
that's some good news.
It is good news.
How are we looking in the playoffs?
NL-wise, we're looking pretty good. I would say there's not really any other team that's as good as the Cubs, except for maybe the Brewers, and they're kind of hit or miss every now and then. Everybody else is kind of floundering. The Nationals, the Rockies just lost somebody.
When I think of the Brewers, I think of this rude asshole at the Bell Fleck concert.
What was he wearing Brewers wear?
Well, Bell Fleck, who's Jesus Christ, he's not like Gene Simmons. He's he's not like a rock star. He's just your normal. He's like a dad at a barbecue. Mm-hmm. He's just chilling. Said something about the Cubs, and some guy go Brewers.
Oh Jesus!
and some kid jokingly said, "Hey man, we're trying to enjoy this," and the guy literally said, "Make a move, punk."
Huh? That's weird.
It was a very asshole-ish crowd. It was the weirdest thing. It's like, I never thought I'd experience a jerk crowd at Bella Fleck. But anyway.
Most devoted Brewers fan ever.
Yeah, but sorry for interrupting you. Saying something about the Rockies.
Well, no, the Rockies are, I think they just lost somebody. I don't know who it was, but the Dodgers are not looking good. Right now, it's all about the American League. They scare the shit out of me.
Who they got?
Well, you got the Red Sox, who are pretty much like, they're going to clinch like this week.
Okay.
And then you have the Indians, who are always scary as shit, and the Astros, who are coming off of a World Series win.
So weird that they're, they used to be in our division.
Who?
Astros.
The Astros? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because of...
long time ago.
Fucking White Sox versus Astros, man, 06.
Right?
But
Swept them.
Swept them, yeah. Anyway, moving on from our pointless interlude of sports to the news portion. We have a follow-up to a story we presented a couple weeks ago. Captain Marvel first images came out as per Entertainment Weekly. Now we have our first trailer. Alex, well, what do you think?
Well, I think this looks pretty damn good. I'm not going to say it looks amazing or anything, and we'll get to the elephant in the room in just a minute.
Yes, the blue-haired elephant in the room.
Yeah, if anyone watching at home has seen the trailer, you probably know what we're talking about, but we'll get to that in a minute. But what I want to say about this, and what I like about it, is I think the reason why Marvel has been successful is, despite the fact that most of the movies are formulaic to a degree, it's just kind of impossible to avoid. What they're really good at, and what they seem to have been doing well at, is building blocks, building off one another. For instance, before Ragnarok, there was Avengers, so that's where Hulk comes from. There's Thor, and that's how we got acquainted with Asgard, and there was Guardians of the Galaxy, which is how we're aware of the outer space kind of element in the Marvel Universe. Mm-hmm. This looks like that's kind of doing that again, because it's combining this time the S.H.I.E.L.D. elements with the outer space elements. So, again, it looks like they're doing a good job of having building blocks to, build off one another. Make this universe expansive and feel cool and like it's all part of it. Because the familiarity, it's not really like something that you say, oh, this again. It's more like, oh, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, small world. It's kind of interesting how it all intertwines with each other while adding new things. Like, what the hell are they called? The Space Corps?
The Space Force or something Force?
Whatever.
Space Force?
The green suit guy, it's basically like the Green Lanterns, I guess.
Yeah. Star Force, is that what it's called?
Just look it up, goddammit.
I think I'm pretty sure it's Star Force, but anyway, I was going to mention that I like that they keep... it is Star Force, by the way.
Okay, Star Force, yes.
They keep mentioning... we keep hearing things about, what's the new thing in this movie? What's the new angle we're going to take? And
right.
The movie does have some intrigue in it, and they show us in the trailer that Brie Larson's character is unaware of her prior life on Earth, at least at the point we meet her. So
yeah, actually, that's something weird. Mm-hmm. Now that you've mentioned that, I've watched the trailer a couple times, and that was just kind of in the back of my head.
It's an interesting angle to take.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, that was interesting. We basically see a lot of the images from the Entertainment Weekly article, but in motion. Like, we see the image of the Skrulls coming up the beach. Like, we see them doing it
very briefly.
We see the scene where I'd imagine Nick Fury meets Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. And yeah, there's a lot in this that I the action looks really good. Like, there's a scene with a car chase where it slams into a bus. She jumps on top of what looks like is a subway or a train or something. And it all looks very good. It all looks very it's very clear. It's not very busy.
She jumps on the subway, but she unleashes energy blasts.
Yes, she unleashes energy blasts, and we see a couple different suits in this. We see the Star Force blue suit.
Or it's like blue and green.
Blue and green, weird
the blue
foam
section of the Crayola box, as we said about Aquaman.
Yeah. There's that. There's the classic Captain Marvel suit.
The primary colors, yeah.
Yeah, and then she has, the one with the helmet.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was interesting to see in the trailer as well. There's some surprises in this trailer.
Yeah, okay, so it's time.
Yes.
She punches an old lady. like really hard.
It's an interesting move, Cotton. I wonder how it pans out.
Yeah. Okay. So for people who are nerds like us, who have either read the comics or have been following the trades, we're pretty sure we know why that is. And that's because the old lady is not really an old lady. She's a Skrull, which is one of the enemies that's coming from outer space. You know, it's the villains of the group, led by Talos.
Oh, yes.
The
Played
main
by
Skrull.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Interestingly enough, in the comics, Talos is one of the only Skrulls that can't shapeshift.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Point is, Skrulls are shapeshifters. But what I thought was so weird about that when I'm watching this, first of all, everyone's talking about that. And two things occurred to me. Wow, they're really banking on people like us who, you know, are familiar with, have some familiarity with the source material and or have been following all these articles to know that they're Skrulls. And it's like, oh, there's an explanation. But I can't help but thinking, what the fuck? What about people who don't know anything about this?
How many 9-year-old kids are going to watch this trailer? 9-year-old kids and like 55-year-old dads are going to watch this.
What the hell is this? Why is she punching her? What'd she do to her?
It's just such a weird, and especially the place in which it appears in the trailer.
It's like right at it. That's the best part. It's like the title card. See her become a hero, and then right after that, it's like bum hero da 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 boom.
Yeah,
punches her. It's
punches her in the face to the beat of the music. It's like
yeah.
And that wasn't the first thought that ran through my head. Now, there were a couple thoughts that ran through my head. I was like, holy shit, she just decked a fucking old lady straight up on a bus. Then the next couple thoughts were like, oh, it's probably a Skrull.
Right.
But like even me, who like has a cursory knowledge of the Kree-Skrull War, like the first thing out of in my head was like, holy shit, that just happened? Like she just fucking punched an old lady in the face.
Right. Now, I'd like to pose this question to those of you playing at home, and just for anyone listening out there. Now, imagine, if you will, this same type of scenario was in a DC trailer. How much shit do you think DC would be getting?
Probably a lot more.
Probably a lot more. But this is crazy because you know what Marvel keeps doing? Like, you know, okay, this time we're going to have a talking tree and a raccoon, or a tree and a talking raccoon. It's like, that's stupid. You can't do that. That's crazy. It's like, watch us. It was a huge hit. And now this time they're like, all right, we're going to do you one better. We're going to show our hero punching an old lady. Now, of course, it is a Skrull, but we're not going to tell them outright. It's like, you can't do that. And again, they're just like, watch us.
That's like
watch us.
That's the only trailer moment in this it's going to act as like the Rosetta Stone for like this movie. Like you're ever in a movie and you're like, wait, then you think the movie's going to end and you're like, wait, is the movie over yet? Oh wait, no, this part in the trailer hasn't happened yet. Like if that happens in this, I'm going to be like, is this movie over? Oh wait, no, she hasn't punched the granny yet.
You know what I wonder? You know when you go with the people who are like a little too into it and clap at everything?
Right.
Yeah! Woo! Gotta clap.
Oh my god. It is a trailer moment, I guess.
I mean, in like an anti-trailer moment way.
It's just such a weird, like, okay, that's, I don't know. It's a bit of a leap, especially considering like how, what's the word?
But they're
like,
going to get away with
how
it.
specialized knowledge that is as a comics fan. Like, oh, shape-shifting.
Yeah, it's like I'm imagining that 50, like, why the hell did he do that? And then like Nerdy McGee's like, it's a Skrull, dumbass.
What percentage of the people watching the trailer do you think get it? Like immediately, like, it's a Skrull granny.
Probably, well, that watched the trailer, so that means they're actively seeking it out. I would say
what were you going to say?
Like, figure out immediately, probably like 50.
50? Oh, man, I was going to say 1. Or maybe 5%.
No way. You're talking about people who, like, went out of their way to figure this out.
Or just anybody who saw it.
But I think this is part of the thing, though, too, is I think some people could have maybe just assumed something is up in general.
Yeah, something's rotten in the state of Denmark or Florida.
I mean, that happens all the time in trailers.
Right.
What I'm really hoping is that it's not some super pivotal moment that would have been suspenseful and then is ruined.
You know what's funny is it's actually a comedic beat. It's like she thinks the granny's a Skrull and decks her, and she's not.
I was thinking, what if that happens?
But then it's like, why would you put that in the sizzle reel portion of the trailer where it's supposed to be badass?
And also, like, she's supposed to be kind of like super strong, so she'd definitely kill her.
She knocked her glasses off or something. I guess maybe it was her dentures flying out of her mouth. I don't know. Needless to say, that was the biggest thing I took away. The biggest takeaway from this trailer: grannies are getting punched in this film.
Grannies are getting punched.
Yes.
Because I don't know. She's not in any mood to play games.
What'd you think about the blockbuster?
Okay.
I know this is something we talked about as being a potential pitfall.
Problem?
Yeah.
Okay, see, it's amazing how quickly I went from ooh to okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, my initial reaction was like, I don't know about this. Falling in the blockbuster, I'm like, please, dear God, don't beat us over the head with this the rest of the trailer. Thankfully, it didn't. I'm like, sigh of relief. Then the granny punch came. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, okay. I knew it was a Skrull, but I'm like, I was just thinking, because that's just how I think when I see trailers. I'm like, I know what I think about it, but I wonder about the people who just, like, maybe don't follow this as closely. Because I feel like there are some Marvel pick and choosers.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like Marvel is sort of a large TV show. Like, this is Game of Thrones. If you're not caught up, you're not caught up. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I think a lot of people sort of view it.
Right.
But I feel like there are people who do pick and choose. Like, Spider-Man Homecoming, you don't have to know all the lore to understand it. Mm-hmm. Or, like, I'd say
Ant-Man 1.
Well, for
maybe
the exception of,
like, Civil War. Like, if you want to see Civil War, you probably should know who Ant-Man is.
Right.
Or like Doctor Strange, you probably should watch if you want to sort of understand who he is in Infinity War, but not really.
That's what I mean. It's like I feel like each Marvel movie has prerequisites to understand them.
Right.
Like Avengers, it's pretty much like all the Avengers movies. Ragnarok and Doctor Strange are the really important ones.
Right. Like, how much do you really need to know about Mantis going into Infinity War?
Probably nothing.
Pretty much.
Because they have sorely underused her as a character.
Yes.
But that's a rant for another day. It's like, hey, that character who beat the shit out of, like, all the Avengers in the original comics? Yeah, let's make her a doughy-eyed moron.
Yeah. Let's make her the comedic relief.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
and it's nothing against what's her name. Like, I think she does a fine job for the material she's given.
Yeah. What's her name?
This is good. Pom Clement.
Pom Clementieff.
Yeah, whatever. We're horrible at names. We all are.
Anyway, the '90s nostalgia. I agree with you. I think it's just keep it cool.
Yeah.
If she crash lands in a blockbuster and that's it,
fine.
Like she walks out, that's fine. But
I just don't want it to be like
shit,
like. Oh man, like she's like like dusting off movies, like she's buried in a pile of movies, and it's just like she takes two hands, and then in two hands we see it dig through like
there's something about Mary.
There's something about Mary and like right. Scream and shit.
Crashes into the music section. Fucking Third Eye Blind covers all over the Nine Inch Nails. Fucking albums
she is
everywhere.
wearing a Nine Inch Nails shirt in one of the pictures.
She is, yeah.
But anyway, and then she like walks outside. It's like Tamagotchis for sale.
Oh my god,
I would hate that so much.
I mean, like if you want to play it cool and just like
fine.
Make it a part of set design, like she's in a house or like she's in a basement and there's like. Remember those mats like with the town on them when you were a kid?
Oh hell yeah!
There's like that in the background or some shit. Like I remember that from that era.
Right. It's kind of like
call attention to it that much.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. Because I mean that's the thing though. Like when you watch a movie and it's like about the '70s and like you notice the like costumes or everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess people dress like that.
Yeah.
They're not like check out these bell bottoms I bought from like store that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
It costs this much money. That's right. Like this much. That's not as much as how much it would cost today.
Check out these platform shoes. Yeah. Look how large the heel is. Let's measure it.
Like, I thought it was a movie that did the call to attention to it, but did in the right way. Everybody Wants Some. Because they're doing Rapper's Delight, they're all hanging out in the car like, yeah, we're so cool. But that was one of the early rap songs of the day.
Well, man,
they're like, yeah, so the hip, like, huh, and they're like singing along like it's fucking like the game or something. Like, yeah, man, this is the real cool rap music.
Well, you want to talk about a director who utilizes periods supremely well? It's Linklater, man.
Yeah,
does a really good job.
That's what I'm saying. And
but hopefully that's not why this shouldn't be the draw of this movie. Like, let's see how many 90s references we can do.
Please just don't overdo
25
this.
of the 90s references that you missed, and the ending explained.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't need this.
Yeah. It's just, as long as the action, well, fuck it. Like, I keep telling people, as long as the story's coherent and the action is good.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're trying to do something different. Again, similar things, but adding things like
there's an angle.
Star Force.
Star Force, memory loss, scrolls, people seeming who they aren't. Those are new things.
We technically have. I mean, basically we've seen it before, but not quite.
Right.
Well, it's just like, but that's the thing. Usually it's like, well, Tony Stark has laser cannons, but she just shoots lasers out of her hands.
Right.
It's like, Thor has laser lightning, but it's lightning. It's not lasers. It's lightning. And Scarlet Witch, she is magic.
Yeah.
This is different, okay?
And Storm, she doesn't have the same kind of lightning as Thor.
Yeah, it's more like she conjures it from the sky.
Yeah,
where
she can't project it from her body per se.
Yeah, that is technically...
She can channel it through herself?
Yeah, she controls the weather and channels it.
Yeah.
Whereas Thor, he commands the very lightning as if it were an essence. He just can suddenly conduct it out of seemingly nowhere.
Right. But
wow.
Anyway, this trailer was solid, notwithstanding the senseless geriatric beatings that ensued. No, it looks really good. I mean, what else did we expect? The pictures we got a couple weeks ago looked quite good too.
I think the combination of the pictures I saw, like that's still my favorite picture is the Skrulls coming on the beach. Mm-hmm. I just love it, like the beach landing.
Yeah.
Of this extraterrestrial group of dudes just walking up the beach, like, where the hell are we? What's going on here? I like what I'm seeing with that angle. And I ask you this question. Are you going to watch the next trailer, or was this enough?
Oh, this is enough. Any Marvel movie on its premise or its fucking title is enough. You know what I mean?
Generally
for the most
speaking,
part.
Yeah.
It's like, I trust the brand at this point. They're going to give me a good, at least watchable movie.
As do I. It's funny, though, I noticed something about this trailer, and I went back because I was kind of curious about comparing. So, she didn't say a whole lot.
No,
Carol Danvers.
No, there's a lot of like
there's
some narration here and there, but
there's some narration stuff that, if I were to take a guess, sounds like it's not going to be in it, or
it's probably just recorded for the trailer.
Yeah, they usually have that. And then on top of that, she says a couple lines of dialogue, but mostly the dialogue was handled by Nick Fury.
Yeah,
which I thought was also cool because it's like, let me clue you into what's going on. Let me help you out.
Right.
Since you've had a rough go at it, what with your memory being gone.
Right.
And I noticed it was very similar to the Doctor Strange trailer.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Because he says very little. He just says, like, I don't believe the power of chakras and fairy tales. that like super bass boosted shit.
Yeah.
Like, but you don't see him say that on screen. Mm-hmm. Then you see the what the fuck, Ancient One? Ancient One does the palm punch thing.
Teach me.
Yeah, teach me. That's the one line of dialogue you get. You don't get a whole lot of the villains. You don't get really a ton of action sequences.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I liked about this trailer.
She just has like the one, like, I'm not what you think I am.
Yeah. So there wasn't a whole ton of like large action shots. And again, that's probably because they're still working on them.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, with Marvel at least, I like my trailers that way.
Yeah, and we don't even really get a whole lot to chew on in terms of the Skrulls and Ben Mendelsohn's character. Like, we don't see him as a human at all, or any of that. We don't
see him really at all. Besides, you see him for one shot, and it's like a very quick one. It's just that it's like you said, the moving version of the still shot.
We don't get a lot of Ronan. We don't even see Marvel that much. Like, we see the one shot of Jude Law, and that's it. So there's a lot, I feel like, that's being hidden.
Gemma Chan.
Like she's in the background when she's with Star Force.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You don't get a lot, but with Marvel and knowing their reputation, once the next trailer comes out, I've seen enough where I'm like, all right, this looks good. So I will not be looking at the next trailer. And you know what that means, people? It begins. And so forth, I shall look at the floor like a weirdo.
And cover thine ears.
So light the ceremonial torch. Requiem. Aria Requiem. We shall not watch.
We shall shield ourselves from the poison.
From the poison. Or whatever. I don't know. This isn't making sense.
I get what you mean, though. This is
I don't understand how it's poison. You're really ruining this premise. Anyway,
thankfully it comes out a lot sooner than we think. It's coming out on March 8th.
Yeah.
Of next year, but that's pretty far. But
that would be cool, though. It's like it seems like they're doing the right thing. Well, we don't want to have it come out every year on the same date.
Right.
People get sick of it. Just make it a year and a month. It's like, yeah, sure, makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not watching the next trailer. I've seen I won't say I think this looks amazing based on what I'd say it looks good enough.
It's not like Black Panther, where like I saw the first trailer and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Let's go.
It looked like a lot more stuff was done, though.
So maybe that'll mean that we'll be pleasantly surprised if this is better than it actually is leading on.
No, see, that's the other thing is I don't want to get overhyped.
Yeah, Black Panther the trailers did that for me. I got
I got way too hyped. Now again, it was still very good.
Quite good, yeah.
We scored it a 12 out, or what was it?
I think I gave it a 7 3/4 out of 10, and you gave it an 8.
Well, no, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
A 4 out of 5, so that's an 11 3. Is that an 11 3/4 out of 10? Well, it's a good score.
Yes.
So there's that, but yeah, this looks quite good.
Yes, 11 3/4.
Okay, good. Thank God. But anyway, yeah, this is shaping up to be quite the project, and I'm hoping it'll be one of the better Marvel movies of next year.
Right. So I would say it has a chance, actually.
I think so. I mean, I'm
not super looking forward to Spider-Man, if I'm just being honest.
I got to see a picture of Mysterio, man.
I mean, that could save it, because I've always thought if there was ever a villain to make on the big screen and do some crazy shit with,
Mysterio.
It's like, imagine it's like a Doctor Strange movie, but it's all about fucking with one person. like making his life, or make like the third act, as far as just like the third act is just tormenting Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
Right.
You could do some cool shit. I mean, you gotta do the classic, like, fights 100 Mysterios, and then he has to find the real one.
Yes. The classic trick.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Hopefully Infinity War Part 2, which is what I'm tentatively calling it, doesn't shit the bed.
I don't think it will.
Me neither.
I'm gonna take a guess and say, I think it'll probably be about as good as Part 1.
Yeah, my logic's telling me, like, it'll probably be good as 1. Or Infinity War Part 1, I guess.
Either way, though, for the slate that they have next year, I would say this is my second most anticipated of the three. Obviously, Infinity War Part 2 being number 1, this, and then Spider-Man. Again, it depends on how they play it. That's one where, like, the trailer... Okay, this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. For me, that's not one of the ones where I'm like, oh, it's Marvel, so I can do it. Mm-hmm. Especially because, after all, Sony is involved.
Oh.
Slightly. No, but I'm kidding. I know that it's a Marvel Studios production. Right. But that's one where I'm like, I do need to see more to really know how I'm going to feel about it.
Agreed.
All right, so that, I guess, does it for Captain Marvel. Moving right along.
We have some news on the Joker front. So in addition to Brett Cullen, an actor who starred in Dark Knight Rises of all films and Narcos, replacing Alec Baldwin in the role of Thomas Wayne in the upcoming film. We have some images from the production itself. We have our first look at Arthur Fleck, or rather Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck / the Joker, well, pre-Joker rather, as well as some, and we don't normally report on this, but I guess we'll include it a little bit just because.
I can't unsee it. Because I've seen it, like, we might as well just mention it.
There's some set photos that have come out and set videos as well of Joaquin Phoenix in action. And the reason why I stress it is because I saw the Joker picture, the Arthur Fleck photo that Todd Phillips released.
Did you tell the people playing at home that that's what he's... Did you clue him in on that? He's Arthur Fleck.
Yes.
That's unusual.
It is Arthur Fleck, especially unusual in that his name literally is A. Fleck. It's Affleck.
Oh.
Which I'm assuming that's just a coincidence.
Right.
But we got our first look at the picture. He looks all scraggly, and he's got that long ass weird like Anton Chigurh hair from No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
And he's got that weird he's got some weird clothes choices going on. And I saw this picture and I was like, yeah, okay, like I see where they're going. I need to see more. And lo and behold, we had a bit more at the time, and that was in the form of some set photos that have come out. And man, is that the perfect side dish for the main course that is this news.
I gotta say, like, the reason I usually don't like set photos is they either tend to spoil shit or they kind of... They don't really show... They're not really a good representation of what the movie's going to end up looking like. Mm-hmm. Especially with anything that's super effects heavy.
Right.
But this is more like... It looks more representative than normal of what it's going to look like. Or at least it seems that way.
It's only a $55 million movie.
Only, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, but still, that's crazy. In the world
a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, in the world of $400 million Avengers movies, this is like this is a penny being rolled across the ground into a sewer grate.
8 of these, yeah,
right. But yeah, these set images, oh man, they just kind of exude what I was expecting, which is some creepy Joaquin. He's wearing some weird clothes. He's got long hair, and he's got like that. There's a picture of him laughing, and he's got that cackle, and I'm like...
But it feels real, sorta.
Yeah.
Not like you can audibly hear the breath, like, being pushed out, like, with Leto. It's like, okay. Ha, ha, ha. It's
yeah.
I'm sorry, Leto. I'm like, the laugh, I'm not buying it, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, overall, I thought his performance was, it was all right.
It was not the worst part.
No, the laugh was just, I couldn't, I'm not feeling it. And this laugh, man, or at least the way he looks.
The way he looks when he's laughing, I buy it.
I buy it for sure. And I love that image where he's holding the clown's, nose.
Yeah, and he's clowning around with him, if you will, joking with him, if you will.
Looks like, I don't know, it's sort of looks like he's wearing, red, sort of Santa-ish pants, but... I don't think it's Santa.
The clown is?
Yeah.
Well, I know they got Joaquin in purple pants, which I was like, good call.
All right. But that's what I'm saying is I had a weird feeling. Like, at first when I heard the announcement, I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? Mm-hmm. And now I'm starting to warm up to the idea. Now, I don't want to get too carried away, but I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, they're rubbing me the right way.
Yeah. What's it? This Brett Cullen guy. Mm-hmm. Not super familiar with him.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I mean, there's enough familiar names in this. Like, you got Zazie Beetz and De Niro and Joaquin Phoenix. It's like, yeah. there's enough there for me to latch on to.
De Niro is in this.
Right.
Wait,
so
is he?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Right? It's so weird.
Yeah, but every Scorsese joint needs a few, some of that guys.
Exactly, and there's a lot of that guys in this. There's a guy in this, I don't know if you remember an actor by the name of Shea Wiggum, and I will show you his face. He's been in so much shit where you're just like, that dude. I'll show you right about now. This fucking guy. He was in Kong Skull Island.
Yes.
Like he was the pilot or whatever the fuck.
Wait, that's the guy who I always that's one of many people that chairs, man. Sorry.
I can't own the chair though. It's not mine.
Okay. Anyway, the Shea Wiggum. He's one of the at least half a dozen people I regularly confuse for Gary Sinise.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a group of those guys where I just get them all confused.
Yeah, man. But are you broken up about the Alec Baldwin leaving this movie news or no?
Not really, to be honest. Because I know what he's capable of. I've seen Glenn Ross.
We all know.
Good stuff, but I don't know. I'm kind of fine with this.
Yeah, I remember him saying like, well, it was a role that any of 15 other people could have played, so I don't really see that. And I'm like, but 15 other people couldn't have hosted the reboot of Match Game, Alec?
Yeah.
Hey-o. No, but I'm not entirely broken up about it. There was enough talent in this movie for me to already go and fucking watch.
Right.
I don't need an
I'm
Alec
particularly fond of De Niro. I keep forgetting. De Niro and Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
And now we got this guy I don't know that well, but who cares? I think Alec Baldwin kind of, he's like, rest assured, it's okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I feel like it won't be that big of a problem on the movie, but...
When is this coming out?
This time next year, October 4th.
God, and what's his name? The director?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Man, this
is an odd project.
This is really a chance.
It's produced by Scorsese, co-written by Scott Silver, who wrote The Fighter.
Wow.
Yeah, and 8 Mile.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something. I don't know if this makes any sense at all. The writer of 8 Mile. Mm-hmm. I feel like that makes sense.
Kind of. I mean, like, the first set photos we see are, like, Joaquin Phoenix walking, like, under an underpass that's, like, disgusting. So I'm like,
yeah,
8 Mile.
8 Mile. Like, pretty similar.
Right. He's trying to make it big.
Yeah. Trying to make it big, from the rap game to the clown crime gang.
Clown Prince of Crime gang. Maybe De Niro. Maybe he'll be, maybe Joaquin Phoenix's B-Rabbit will be Robert De Niro's fucking Papa Doc. I don't fucking know. I don't... This parallel was fun until I got involved.
It's okay. Sometimes I don't know. It's driven into the ground, but it's okay.
That's okay. I messed up with the Gregorian chant thing. I messed up with the fucking 8 Mile parallel. I'm 0 for 2.
I think it was, I maybe went too far by trying to make too many parallels.
It's okay. I'll take it for the team. I'm 0 for 2, but God damn it, put me in coach. Let's go. I'm ready to play.
I gotta say, I'm kind of dying to see a trailer for this.
This is an interesting project. It's always been, and I have no fucking idea what it's going to cause or how it's going to do.
See, that's the thing that makes this so interesting is, unlike everything else that's happened before it, we kind of have a general picture, at least of what the studios want to end up doing. Mm-hmm. For instance, Amazing Spider-Man. We had some ideas of what they were going to do, and they tried to clue us in to the future by showing us so.
In the credits.
At the credits. Didn't happen, but again, we had an idea of where it was going.
And I was willing, for the record, to hear him out.
I was too.
Yeah, because I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I liked 1 enough that I was willing to wait. I wanted to see that Sinister Six movie.
I was curious to know how that would have worked.
In a morbid way.
Yeah.
I imagine. Yeah, kind of same.
Well, and so DC's kind of in that spot where they have the DCEU, but this completely changes it because they're saying, because you think, you can't have 2 series of the same universe made by one studio. Mm-hmm. And they said, we're kind of in a strange position. So,
transition period.
Yeah, so we're going to try it.
And you know what makes sense is, and a lot of people have said this, is it's like the comics. There are a lot of different continuities in DC, in DC Comics canon, You have, you have a Batman comic out right now that has nothing to do with the main canon, written by Brian Azzarello. Right. It happens all the time in graphic novel form.
Batman Damned or whatever.
Batman Damned, yeah. And
I'm thinking that's part of their Black Label, which is this new thing, right?
Yeah, and this is a DC Black film.
Or supposedly.
Allegedly.
That's what I'm wondering.
Or DC Dark or DC Black, I think.
Are they going to, intertwine?
I don't know.
The movies and the comics, that's what's getting weird.
A multimedia venture.
That's what it kind of...
Multi-platform.
It kind of seems that way. Think about the DC universe. It's not just... You got movies, TV, and comics on it. So it seems like the way they've been branding things is it's a package. Everything's all involved. Where with Marvel, it's like, we've got movies. And then it's like, and other stuff. But
consolidation of media.
Yeah.
It's all one experience. Movies, TV, games.
Everything's sort of becoming one.
Mm-hmm. It's all starting to roll together. And maybe this Joker movie will be a harbinger of that change. But we'll see.
Right. I couldn't imagine Marvel following suit, though, because...
Well,
MCU's working too well.
There's another story on this docket that's maybe
oh shit, that's right.
Adding into that another platform under the MCU tree, if you will.
Right, we'll get there in just a moment. Before that, we've got some other stories.
But first,
the main event of the evening. No, probably not. It's just something we heard.
Yes.
So Patrick Stewart has been added as, in a twist, one of two Bosleys for the Charlie's Angels reboot. Now, from what it sounds like, I think there's like a torch passing thing going on.
Yeah. Is Bosley like Q? Is it like a title? That's someone, like, it takes?
I don't know, because I haven't seen any of the Charlie's Angels things except the 2000s movies, but it's been a while.
Same here.
So, because what's it? Elizabeth Banks, she's directing.
Yes.
And now, again, she's Bosley, but so is Patrick Stewart. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of weird, but whatever. I'll roll with it.
Yeah, I'm reading this Hollywood Reporter article right now, and it says something interesting, which is, I don't remember the guy's name. August something was the screenwriter who was originally attached to this.
Yeah.
His name was August. Oh, God, I'll look it up later. But it looks like it's saying that there's new screenwriters attached to this.
Okay.
It's saying that Jay Basu, who wrote Girl in the Spider's Web, co-wrote this with Elizabeth Banks, and that they're working off of earlier drafts by Craig Mazin and Semi Shalis. So they're not saying, and the guy's name, by the way, is David Auburn. I don't know who's saying August.
Was that the guy who's a playwright?
Yeah, he's a playwright. He wrote the movie Proof and the play that is based on. But now it says that we got some new screenwriters involved here.
Okay, cool.
Because that's kind of a relief. Because I remember seeing that and like,
I don't know about that.
What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? That's a weird...
Get someone who's done something remotely comparable, please.
Yeah, like Girl in the Spider's Web makes sense, like on a tonal genre. You know, it's not. I'd imagine it's not going to be as hardcore. Charlie's Angels will not be, but it's the same.
They're not going to show up in people's rooms like, I heard that you've been doing some bad things, so now I'm going to tie you up and tase you and shit.
Yes, I'm going to put things in you. Oh no! So let me retract it. I'm going to stomp things into you.
Yep.
But. No, yeah, so this looks like there's some movement happening here, and not just on casting, and I'll get to my appreciation of Patrick Stewart in a sec.
Yeah.
But this seems like the script is being shifted around. The scripting duties have been shifted around a bit. But Patrick Stewart. God damn it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it, man. He's one of the most unsung actors in the world for me because of American Dad.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, I was just thinking, Avery, what the fuck's his name on that show?
Avery...
Bullock. Avery Bullock.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If he's in this movie for solely comedic purposes, oh man, did this fucking thing just shoot up and stop for me. I was just going to say, I
think he's really, really good as a comedic actor.
Oh, yeah. Terrific.
So, I'm gonna venture a guess here and say that they're gonna make this pretty comedic since Elizabeth Banks is involved.
That would make sense.
So that's that. I'm happy with this casting.
Yeah.
Things have only gotten better from what it sounds like with these new screenwriters and such.
It sure has.
Yeah. I saw that new trailer, speaking of which, for the Spider's Web.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, man, it's just like, fuck it. I'll go see it.
Yeah? What do you think?
Well, okay, here's my thing. I don't like what they're trying to like turn it into, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, well, this is dumb. They're making her a superhero instead of like a regular grounded vigilante. I'm like, but it looks kind of fun anyway.
Yeah, I'm up for a good, a thriller, with some weird, creepy shit.
I'm pretty sure I've got nothing that I'm like super looking forward to for November. Is that when it's coming out?
I think it comes out maybe before that. I thought it came out in October. Let me check. No, you're right. November 9th.
Yeah, because there's Creed 2, which I'm like, because I just don't care about Rocky anymore.
Yeah.
And Widows, I'm probably gonna see.
It looks solid.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent. So
got good buzz out of TIFF.
All right.
So if that does anything,
you know what? It doesn't. It does the opposite.
I don't blame you.
No, it makes now. I'm worried about Widows. You done goofed.
I've installed some pretty fucking bad aspersions into that shit.
You just couldn't let it go, could you? Anyway, no, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
but
it should be fine.
No, I'm just saying this makes me have a
little bit more faith.
A little more faith, but I was just gonna say, there's now 2 movies in November, so
yeah, man.
I just know myself. I'm probably gonna end up seeing it.
Same here.
So that's that with that brief tangent. Moving right along. Oh man, looking at the list and I just saw what we're talking about. Hell yeah, the Apostle trailer. So Apostle is coming to us from, now make sure this is the right name, Gareth Evans.
Yes.
Not Gareth Edwards.
Yes.
Gareth Evans.
That is the correct Gareth.
Yeah, okay. So the director of Raid 1 and 2, 2 of the most fantastic action movies of this decade. Well, fuck, I'd even go as far as to say probably the best 2 action movies of this decade.
Damn.
Okay, no, I take that back. It's a tie between that and Rogue Nation. I don't know.
Really?
No, fuck that. Ghost Protocol, that's my favorite.
I still say Skyfall's up there for me, man. Like, I fucking love Skyfall so much.
Yeah, well, this is like the $1 million version of those.
Yes.
Anyway, we're getting we're going off the rails again.
Alex, is this a Netflix movie that you're excited for?
Okay, now let me defend my point. Seemingly, it would appear that I'm quite looking forward to a Netflix movie. And now, you want to know what I have to say about this trailer? So, Apostle is, of course, takes place in the late 1800s.
1905.
Oh, god damn it!
I have the storyline if you'd like me to read it.
All right,
straight from XYZ Films.
Yeah, all right, because I'm fucking up and I'm getting all the dates wrong.
The year is 1905. Thomas Richardson travels to a remote island to rescue his sister after she's kidnapped by a mysterious religious cult, demanding a ransom for her safe return. It soon becomes clear that the cult will regret the day it baited this man, as he digs deeper and deeper into the secrets and lies upon which the commune is built. Oh man, this fucking thing. I'm with you. I know, right? This trailer looks fucking good.
It looks amazing because it has so many different... I like movies where they are of a certain genre, but I gotta tell you, I love movies when it's like, if you have to nail it down to one, it's just like suspense thriller.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some horror, some action.
Yeah, some torture, creepy gore.
Yeah.
It's got stick fighting.
Yeah, it's got some random semi-callback to the raid for about 2.5 seconds in the trailer. A little bit of stick fighting.
Yeah.
In circular motion hits.
Yes.
I don't know if people really knew how to do that shit back then, but I'm totally willing to roll with it.
Right.
I love the whole concept, the idea of it being on an island.
Mm-hmm. It's like, reminds me of the original Wicker Man, where it's like this cult on an island. You're like,
this cult on an island. This guy's got to me, I like that it's an infiltration movie.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it is like a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like we're just gonna go get a band of like dudes together and take care of business. It's like he's going there on his own. He's so outnumbered. I love the idea of these movies where it's just like this person is so fucked and so out of their element. Mm-hmm. It's like the odds aren't just against them. They're extremely stacked against them.
Yeah, and you've got a really creepy villain performance potentially in the form of Michael Sheen as like the cult priest leader shit, like spouting stuff about like how God is not just, salvation, but he's also like pain and anger. And he's like torturing people with fucking drills and shit.
I like the themes here, like the cults and the whole idea of that like religiosity.
Yeah, dogma.
Yeah,
Scare the limits that dogma can traverse.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot going on here,
and also,
it was presented in a trailer that was coherent.
Yeah,
because like Hold the Dark, I'm like, there's some cool stuff, but it seems
what's
like
actually going on?
What the hell is going on? And these things seem loosely connected. Mm-hmm. This is like, it's pretty straightforward.
Right.
This guy's on this island, and this island is fucked up. Like this island's got some strange happenings.
It's gross. It's fucking muddy and shit. There's
that's
mud everywhere.
what I mean. Everything aesthetically about this movie looks amazing.
People have blood all over them for some reason. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Well,
and also,
they're constantly getting tortured with drills and shit.
Also, stick fights.
Right. You got some
stick fights in this fucking trailer.
Or at least a guy using a stick.
Yeah, some staffs and sticks and poles.
Some quarterstaff battling of sorts.
Right.
That was the moment where I'm like, now I'm for sure in.
Yeah, like
I was
dude's
like,
getting
I
whacked
like what I'm seeing, but now I'm in for sure because we got some crazy action. And I do want to point out, that's one thing that really struck me is by the time I finished that trailer, and I thought, this is a Netflix movie?
Yeah.
This looks stylistically, like from a production...
Like an A24 flick?
Yeah, it looks... The production design looks really good.
Damn.
It looks like it perfectly captures the aesthetic of the time, even though I was a moron and thought it was the 1800s, even though it's the early turn of the century.
Yeah, it's close.
Whatever, same shit.
But, yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. It comes out October 12th. Mark your calendar.
Man, that's a week after...
Venom.
Well, I was going to say Conor Khabib.
And Venom, yeah. And week after the Hawks start.
Oh, yeah, that's right. God damn, that's going to be a crowded couple of weeks.
It sure is.
Got some stuff going on.
We sure do.
Sure do. So The Apostle looks quite great.
It does. So we got some news moving on now out of Toronto.
This is just a small segment.
Small little tidbit. IFC has nabbed the distributive rights to Donnybrook for North America. Now, Donnybrook is it's going to be a 2019 thriller action movie that stars Jamie Bell and Frank Grillo, and it's about a down-and-out American man traveling as a bare-knuckle boxer, like fighting in underground bare-knuckle boxing competitions. What do you think about this? I know there hasn't been much shown on this. I know there was some images shown of like a bloodied Jamie Bell getting beaten up. What do you think?
Well, I'd first heard about this when we were talking about Fantastic Fest a couple weeks ago. Or is it Fantasia? Jesus Christ, all these dumbass festivals with names.
Yeah.
Fantastic Fest, right?
Right.
Anyway, so that's where I first heard about it, and I'm a sucker for the bare-knuckle fighter movies.
Yeah, some pugilism.
Yeah, no, I mean...
hardcore pugilism.
I enjoy some pugilism.
Yes.
But boy, do I enjoy some pugilism in the film form. But you add an extra layer of intrigue in that there ain't no rules.
Right.
There are rules, but they're not as coherent as a boxing ring or whatever.
Yeah, no.
I'm a big fan of those. And have you ever seen Hard Times?
Is that a Charles Bronson joint?
It's a Charles Bronson joint from the 70s. And boy, is that a good one.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I do want... It's bare knuckle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, that sub-genre, it has not been good as of late.
Right.
There's been a lot of those cheapy direct-to-video, bare-knuckle, underground tournament movies. And a lot of them are not good.
Yeah, no,
One of them had Misha Tate and Holly Holm and all the big
wasn't that
UFC
called
women's? It was Fight Valley.
Fight Valley, yeah. Ugh.
Man, that was no good.
That was a chore, from what I heard.
I mean, I had a good time watching it,
but not for the right reasons.
No, it was definitely if anything, maybe 1.5 out of 2 bombs.
Oh shit.
There was a couple other ones that just sucked. They had like someone, like a Scott. What the hell's his name?
Who?
Scott Adkins.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, there's a couple with him. I think.
I bet he's had a lot. How many? Haven't there been a lot of Never Back Down sequels that have gone straight to DVD?
Yes, there has been a couple, I think, but what I'm thinking of is Undisputed.
Oh, yeah. Yeesh.
Where all I hear is like the first couple are good, and then after that they're all like pretty terrible.
Ugh. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's what I mean. Like, there's been a few, but there haven't been any that sound like, how do I say this without sounding insulting, but like legit movies?
Yeah. This could be a legit one.
This, or at least it sounds like it. And Frank Grillo, big fan of the man's work.
Yes.
And as much as John Bernthal is great, fits the role like a glove, Grillo would have been a perfectly A-OK Punisher.
I think so, too. I agree.
As Purge Anarchy is basically a Punisher movie, and it's kind of awesome.
Right.
And then the third one is not good at all.
Oh, God. And the fourth one,
For those of you
which
playing
I've seen,
at home,
also isn't good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeesh.
So you said the fourth one's no good.
Is that the one that came out this year, the first Purge?
Yes.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, Election Years 3, and that's the one with the candy bar girl.
Oh, no.
And it's one of those, like, are you trying to be funny, or is this just like it's like Tommy Wiseau shit? You're like, what? You're just so baffled.
Is this ironic, or are you...
Yeah, like, are you trying to be funny, or is this, like, you trying to, like, really do a performance? I can't... This hurts my eyes and my ears.
God. Anyway.
Worth a view.
Yeah.
Not the whole movie. Just look up the candy bar girl in... Just YouTube it. It's a good time.
Give it a look.
So Donnybrook, some pugilism.
Yeah, some good old-fashioned pugilism. Bare-knuckle variety.
I like it.
Yeah.
An IFC. I like IFC as a thing.
I trust them more than some large studios.
Yeah. Like, this is the kind of thing, I don't know. It sounds like it's right for IFC. They take these kind of projects.
Yeah, they do. They're in many ways like a not as good A24 in terms of like they have the same philosophy. Like, we have to treasure the filmmaker and his or her vision. Like, we can't sacrifice that.
They also,
I feel like a lot of the projects are not that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing with IFC is they seem to focus a lot more on TV.
Yeah,
A24 is pretty film focused.
Yeah, the IFC channel is. I frequent it from now and then.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, so that's Donnybrook. Moving right along, here's a strange announcement.
We referenced it earlier.
Yeah. So why don't you take us away?
It seems as though Marvel has just announced that Loki, Scarlet Witch, and other Marvel heroes are going to get their own TV series on the newly announced Disney streaming service called Disney Play.
Yes, that is correct.
Alex, here's my question for you. How can you feasibly make a TV show about characters, spoilers, who have died? Loki and Scarlet Witch are dead.
Shh, they're not, like, it's like, shh. They're totally dead, and these shows are about the first episodes are their funerals. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, that's
you're ruining it, Robert. God.
Yeah, that's parody.
No, I know what you're saying. It's like, could you guys have waited, especially with like series and stuff, like the way Netflix does most of their marketing? Don't they usually release trailers with usually about a month or two to go?
Yeah, no, they're really soon about it.
They don't often release it super early, as far as I'm aware.
No, you're definitely right on that. But furthermore,
or at least the announcement. I mean, that might have been a long wait, because as we'd mentioned before, Mr. Iger, he said this is one of their top priorities.
Yeah, I would make it a top priority if I was the owner of said property.
Yeah, but so let's get to brass tacks here. So
Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen will be returning. The episodes are expected to be the seasons rather are expected to be 6 to 8 episodes each. Feige's involved. This is
not the same. This is Marvel Studios, the film division, same people, basically.
Same people, but also I think Jeff Loeb is also involved because.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it comes to comics, worship the ground the man walks on.
But TV.
Can't say the same about TV, unfortunately.
Yikes. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it speaks to more of we've known for a bit now that Disney is going to start moving away from Netflix and Marvel also because of their Disney Play thing. But that's still, they still have shows on ABC. They're going to have shows on this Disney Play app. They're going to have movies. They're going to have games. They're going to have...
I think they're still going to have the Netflix series, right?
Oh, yeah. I think the ones that are there or started there, I think are going to keep being there. But this is just, the expansion, yet the shrinking of media at once in a way. It's a weird thing going on.
This is unusual, and this is just the seismic shift we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fragmenting, but also giving us more at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to have the Star Wars shows as well as Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel movies as well as these Marvel shows.
Right.
Let's break this down, though. Loki show. Do you have interest in that?
Just not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of those guys that kind of didn't think Loki was that cool or scary of a villain,
I mean, I thought it was...
He's a good anti-hero, But
Yeah.
as a villain in Avengers 1, I'm like, not great.
Yeah. I kind of get what you're getting at. I just... What the hell are they going to do?
I have no idea. I don't know where they pick it up. Are these going to be prequels? Are they going to pick up where we left off? Did you just seemingly confirm that Loki's not dead?
Yeah, see, that's like I wish they had somehow had, like... I wish it was within, a reasonable request or whatever.
Right. I don't know.
I wish it was reasonable for them to not say anything until, like, way later, until it's about to come out.
Well, and this was another...
I feel like in the day and age where there's the constant need for the articles and there hasn't been, like, set photos every day. Is the production in trouble?
Yeah.
10 reasons why the movie is totally fucked.
The other thing I was talking to you, I'm like, didn't they just make an announcement about how they weren't going to make these kinds of announcements anymore?
Where they weren't going to make the ones that, like, spoil everything? Because when you think about it, relative to the proximity of Spider-Man and even Captain Marvel, like, we had... Or Avengers 4, rather.
Right.
We haven't gotten a lot of information, which normally by this time we know probably a lot more.
Yeah,
or at least as far it seems like it.
We usually do,
which I kind of like that we're getting a little less, so it's a little more of a surprise. And it is weird that they sort of announced this.
My other question towards you was, how much do you think the Fox merger informs upon the Scarlet Witch show due to her being Magneto's daughter?
Now, there's the $1 million question of the day. Because, as I said, Scarlet Witch, a character who's pretty good. He's been a mainstay Avenger for a long time, and even before that, for those of you who don't know your comic book history, she was actually Magneto's daughter as a villain in the original Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which included her brother, of course,
Quicksilver.
So... that's going to be kind of weird to think about. I guess, I don't know. I feel like it depends on how 4 goes, because it seems like there's a lot of rumors and bullshit about time travel and alternate dimensions. So that to me seems like if they roll with that, retcon ahoy. They can just kind of redo whatever. But if they're not going the Fox or X-Men route, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with the Scarlet Witch thing, because to me at least, most of her best stories are somehow linked
to X-Men.
To X-Men, one way or another.
Well, here's a question for you.
There's one example.
What's that?
That I can think of where she plays a large part.
Which?
But is not related to X-Men. So the New Avengers, what started the New Avengers arc, Avengers Disassembled.
Oh, yeah,
where she freaks out and kills everybody.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you. So we know that Marvel has considered, Disney and Marvel have considered including and introducing X-Men into this universe. Do you think, which do you put more stock in? Them introducing a new version of X-Men, or them actually going the lengths to try and somehow include the Singerverse X-Men characters into the MCU? Which one do you think is more likely?
No way are they keeping the same.
Yeah, I feel
because
like you're right.
they've proven, like, yep, we're pretty fucking heartless. Andrew Garfield, take a goddamn hike. Hey, Tommy,
You're right. I think
Tommy Holland, why don't you come here?
Come here.
We got a job for you.
You're a new Spider-Man kid.
Get a new Spider-Man. Get in there. I really think there's absolutely no way they're going to keep him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It just...
Which is a pain because there's the... it's
you
not
know
like...
who I think they... Here's the real question. They got to keep... Oh, actually, I just thought of something. What if they don't integrate him?
How's that? They just don't do X-Men? They keep it its own thing?
Yeah, what if they just keep it its own thing? But
that honestly would be the ideal for a lot of people.
I don't understand why that hadn't occurred to me. Mm-hmm. I think there's room where you can make a, there's a time rift warp and some bullshit, and then you can cross over, I guess.
Right.
But I feel like based on the time sensitivity of certain things, they're just going to have to cool it for now.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they want these shows to be ready, next year?
That's what it sounds like, yeah. I don't think it's really...
Here's a question.
So weird, though. What's that?
Do you think there's a chance this could shift around the movies? I really don't want this to happen, but I have an odd feeling, and I don't want this to be the case.
How do you mean?
That they might opt to make the Black
Widow movie a show?
Yeah.
No.
I don't like that. I don't want... You know what? Fuck it. I don't like that.
You just said... We just spoke it into existence.
No, fuck that. They got a director. They got a writer. Mm-hmm. And when Marvel has a director and a writer, that usually means shit's going on.
Yeah, this isn't DC, damn it. This isn't Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I don't know. I really don't want that to happen. Maybe a Hawkeye show.
That would be fun. And you know what? He needs it. He deserves it, damn it, because Jeremy Renner's been there this whole time, and he's a damn good actor, and he's just been fucking wasted.
Yeah, he really has.
Almost every appearance.
Yeah. Well, especially he was not too keen about being under mind control in his first big showing, if you will.
Yeah. That sucks.
Oh, man.
Hawkeye show would be cool.
Yeah, and then you could do... I mean, people have been talking about this as a movie, and it's like, I just don't see it as a movie, but I totally see it as a show.
What's that?
Just like some sort of S.H.I.E.L.D.-ish show, where it's like Hawkeye's the main focus. You could use some ancillary characters like Winter Soldier and Ghost, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Give Ghost a little more to do.
That'd be neat. I could dig that.
She's their friend now, remember? They're best buds.
Well, we'll find out,
She tried to kill him and, didn't care if Janet died, but, water...
Is that ever going to get resolved?
Water under the bridge, brah.
Is that going to happen in the beginning of Avengers Infinity War Part 1? Or Part 2?
Yeah, whatever. What
the hell? Okay.
So...
Anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like... To me, those are kind of weird choices for shows, but...
Scarlet Witch I get more than Loki, because I'm like, yeah, we don't know much about her. Loki's like, haven't we already played this thing out? He's a rascal. Yeah. We get it.
Yeah. But the thing with Scarlet Witch is quick, Robert, name me 3 Scarlet Witch specific villains.
Right, that's the other thing. It's just like, who the fuck knows?
I mean, you could do the cop out route and just choose like a catch all villain. Mm-hmm. Not saying this would be a choice, but Doctor Doom, yes, he's a Fantastic Four villain, but he's kind of an every Marvel Universe villain.
Or like MODOK,
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I could see that working, maybe.
'Cause psychic shit.
I don't know. Something to do with AIM. Fuck. I just don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah. I bet, you know what the thing is, though, and I take comfort in? I bet they got it figured out.
Yeah. It's just, to me,
hopefully it doesn't suck.
But normally when they say they got something, I'm like, I get where that's going. Mm-hmm. This is based on things that are pre-established, and I'm kind of scratching my head.
Maybe this will be better than the Netflix shows because it's not trying to be something so radically different from the established canon.
Yeah, that's one thing. Is one of the main problems I have with the Netflix shows. I mean, you've said this too. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't seem like it's part of the same thing.
No, it's so vastly different of an animal,
and it's just not very super heroic. Mm-hmm. It's kind of gritty and boring and not like what Marvel has established in the movies.
Right, and you can do that. It's just don't try and jam a square peg into a round hole. Just say it's a different thing.
I would say Daredevil is probably the closest.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the absolute worst offender
Of that?
of not getting it to what the comics are, like what it should feel like, is like, I've tried watching a little bit of Iron Fist. Holy shit. I feel like that has missed the mark.
Yeah, man.
Like, the little bits I saw, I'm like, you know what? I'm not watching another fucking episode of this. This pilot. But it's just a pilot. Yes, that's an hour. That's an hour that I did not enjoy. You're telling me to maybe watch another hour. Give me a goddamn break.
Yeesh.
To me, that feels the least like the comics. Like Luke Cage, the show, it's like his character and his world is not as outlandish.
Right.
And Jessica Jones, again, it's like I'm not a big fan of the show, but I can see how that has anything to do with the comics. It's very similar to her whole deal.
And the Punisher show is like so fucking far away from the MCU. Like Ant-Man and Punisher exist on the same plane. Get the fuck out of here. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know. No. And I get that, like, I don't know why it's easier for comics to get away with that. You know, because it's not like they don't occur. What do you think about that?
Oh, why
does that get? Why does an Ant-Man comic?
I think it's because comic books are so ridiculous in general. Yeah. I think it's once you introduce something into live action, things change. Well, it's like, how many times have you heard, well, I don't know if that costume would translate very well, or like, oh, I don't know if you could do that story in live action.
Right.
Think about storyboards. It's like, here's an idea. Then you're like, all right, now we're going to try and execute that idea. It's like, well, we have to change some shit. Mm-hmm. But in comic books, it's like, you got the storyboards, you just add some, pencil that shit, ink it, color it, and it makes sense on the page as it lies.
Yeah.
I just think that live action's a different animal.
It sure is.
And I think that you can have varying degrees of the heroes, but I think it's just the contrast, the level of the contrast is so big. Mm-hmm. Or it's just so wide. I guess that's the problem. It's just whatever.
Yeah, it's basically, I get what you mean. It's a different medium. It's more of like a piece of like an art, like, it's like a Monet painting, like water lilies. It's like can be interpreted. It can be interpreted in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But a movie is like, it's a lot more just like, it gives you a lot more information than a comic would.
Well, that's the other thing is you're talking panel by panel. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't fucking know. It's like, okay, like when Punisher is in a Spider-Man comic, they change him slightly.
Yeah, he's not slitting dudes' throats.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. And when Spider-Man's in a Punisher comic, like, Spider-Man's brought to a fucking world he isn't like. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Fuck it. You know what I think the problem is? It's that they haven't attempted to bring them together. Maybe that... There we go. I think that's really the more obvious reason. Because think about it. You have had Spider-Man in Punisher and Hulk in Punisher comics and et cetera, et cetera. You have had Captain America and Wolverine team up.
Right.
It's just... But they have... Since they haven't really had much overlap, besides, like, Jasper Sitwell from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
and like Winter Soldier.
Agent Coulson. Mm-hmm. I think that's the problem.
I agree.
So maybe who knows? Maybe in 4 we'll finally get that. I don't know, though. It sounds like there's some weird red tape reasons why they can't.
It's definitely an interesting development on the part of Marvel.
Yeah. Who else you got?
For shows?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Who do you like on that roster?
I mean, I bet there'll be a show that's like probably Agent 13 or maybe like Shuri will get a show somehow. I don't know. I bet it'll be like an ancillary character, not a main eventer. But I would like a
I just imagine Shuri in like a lab coat and a bunch of weird like exploding vials. Like that's the first promo photo.
Yeah. But
like Shuri and her wacky creations.
Oh my god, it's Dexter's Lab, but just Shuri. Oh my god. But no, a Hawkeye show would be cool, I think. That'd be really neat.
Let's see. Well, a lot of people say Moon Knight. I've never been really fond of the character.
You're talking like additional characters too. Oh shit. Moon Knight would be interesting. Captain Britain, maybe.
I've been hearing some weird shit about like
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I just
Heard
whatever.
the rumor.
Well, Captain Britain would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's like someone else who I'm forgetting. I don't know. Well, because the New Warriors, they supposedly have a show for.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm struggling to think of like who would I love to see a series of for like the lesser known Marvels. I think I got nothing.
Dude, lesser known DC.
Arm falls off, boy. Yeah,
you gotta
definitely.
do it. You gotta do it.
I'd say give him a 5-hour movie.
Mini-series.
Mini series on BBC.
Jesus.
Make it all classy.
But
all right. I think we've beaten this conversation to death with Arm Falls Off Boy's Arm.
Yes, there you go.
So this is happening. This tangent also happened.
And it is no longer happening.
Yeah, it's no longer happening. And if I randomly think of a character I like, maybe I'll shout it out when inappropriately to say so.
Perry White.
What?
Perry White.
What?
Perry White.
That's a DC guy.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were still talking about DC characters that deserve
No, I was talking...
J. Jonah Jameson.
Nah, man. Okay. Yeah, let's move on.
All right. What's our next story?
Oh, Elektra. I mean, even though she's been on the shows, but that'd be pretty cool.
What about what about Robbie Robertson? I can only think of Spider-Man
Robbie Robertson, Scoops.
Oh,
you know,
man.
it's just
a journalist show.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, this is officially going on too fucking long. Let's move along, shall we? Okay, here we go. Next story.
Got another trailer.
Yeah, it's a trailer for a Vietnamese movie called The Immortal. Mm-hmm. It's by Victor Vu.
Director Victor Vu.
And it's coming out October 12th, and there's absolutely no information about the plot.
Except for the trailer.
The trailer is subtitled and is online.
But we still have very little idea what it's about.
We have no idea what the plot's about. I think I read somewhere a little bit about it. It has something to do with this mysterious cave.
I sort of got that impression.
Well, there's this cave, and it's got all this spooky, crazy shit on it.
There's some footery.
Yeah, there's some footery and tomfoolery and mess-aroundery going on.
And some shenaniganery.
Yeah, so there's something about, like, families are feuding, and there's some shit about this cave, and it's like, you don't want to go in that cave, you don't want to know the truth. And really, this looks amazing. Like, the production looks very crisp.
Yeah, I was weird how kind of all-encompassing the movie's trailer is in terms of genre. Like, it starts off, and you're like, this looks like it's going to be, like, a mystery, thrillery. But then it, like, all of a sudden, like, there's a dude lying on, like, the ground, and, like, tree roots start grabbing onto him and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's, like,
some horror.
Some dude's, like, getting blown away, like Goodfellas style. Like, there's some crime shit, and then there's, like, romantic, like... People are making out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this looks like it's just like every movie.
People getting slashed with machetes.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
When
this
it's
is
a
crazy.
scene where you're like, are they going to shoot him? You're like, oh no, they're hacking him.
Right. But no, I agree with you completely in that like it's very well made, and I was particularly impressed by the aerial shots. A lot of the aerial shots of, I believe they shot this in Vietnam.
Yeah,
looks really pretty.
Yeah, it what's the word? It kind of brings you into the world of this story.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any information on when I can see this gem?
Well, if you happen to be in Vietnam, October 12th. Otherwise, I got nothing.
Oh, poo.
All right, so there's not a lot, but this is a cool looking trailer. I really think people should check it out.
Yes, you should check it out, listener, and tell us, what the fuck is this movie about?
Yeah.
That's not a question of, like we actually want to know. Like, please help.
This isn't like a interpretive, it's about love's lost.
Yeah, no.
It's about redemption. No, it's like, what is the story?
What's going on? Something about a cave?
Something about a cave and this family.
Something about tree roots?
So it's like some disagreements with local authorities or gangsters. I don't even know what the hell they are. It looks cool,
some disputes.
It looks like a good time.
Oh, yes.
So that'll do it for the news. Jesus, that was a long news segment.
That's okay. We found a way to make it work.
Let's just do like a quick review because I don't have like a whole ton to say about this. Oh, real quick to interject, I thought of a good Marvel character that I'd preferably like on this Marvel streaming service.
Who's that?
Shang-Chi.
Oh, the master of Kung Fu.
Dude, that'd be such a sweet show. Except I'm a little worried they'll have him on
Iron
Fist first, which makes me sad.
Yikes. Oh.
Well, especially because like ancillary characters like Colleen Wing have already been on
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, also Misty Knight.
Oh.
God damn it. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I give up. Like, they're either going to, like, do weird shows that, like, aren't going to make sense at first but might turn out okay, or they're just going to put them on Netflix. I don't know.
Or Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, you know, fuck it. Let's go with Robbie Robertson. Let's do it. I like it.
All right. Well, moving on to the reviews.
Right.
What did we see this weekend?
We both saw White Boy Rick.
Yes, we saw White Boy Rick. This is a movie that we talked about the trailer for. We're both looking forward to it. I know you might have been looking forward to it a bit more than me because you've seen a movie made by this director and I haven't.
This is the dude who did 71?
Yes, yeah. Jan Demange.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I remember remember that.
But I remember really looking forward to this because the trailer really presented like, okay, this is going to be like a Black Mass meets like Wolf of Wall Street type, you know, this is what happens when you live fast and loose, kid, like cautionary tale type thing. And is that the movie we got?
I would say so in some ways.
I would say it is in ways, but it's also
depressing.
Way more depressing than I ever anticipated it being.
Yeah, you know, well, there's a couple scenes in mind that I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, especially towards the end.
Well,
and a couple in the middle.
Yes. But just to get the overall kind of feeling of the movie, it was well shot.
Weirdly well shot.
Yeah.
Because it was not working with much in terms of Detroit. And God love Detroit, but there's some parts of that city that don't look great. And the color palette is disgusting.
You know what the thing is?
But it still looks good.
This is one of those movies, and I've said this a number of times, but I'm not going to stop saying because I think it's such an important thing to telling a great story, or at least a lot of the times it's very helpful. Mm-hmm. Some movies that's just like, whatever, we're in a city, blah, blah, doesn't matter. It's about the scary guy in the mask, or it's about the gangsters or the superhero. This, it's like Detroit's a character.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit is one of the characters that helps, tell the story.
Yeah, it's one of the only constants in the story.
Yeah,
is the setting.
It's the setting is very important to this movie, and as you said, it paints a sort of bleak picture. And of course, the plot is Rick Wershey Jr., one of two children of a single father, Rick Wershey Sr. And he's kind of a hustler, and he's selling like guns illegally because he's just
out of the trunk of his car.
Yeah, he's just trying to make money. Mm-hmm. And his character, by the way, man, it's weird. The one thing that was weird about this movie, and I'm not one of those people where I have to have someone to root for. Mm-hmm. That does not matter to me all the time. It's a matter of how is this going to work out for these characters,
right?
Or like, where's this going? It's like, I want to see how this plays out.
Right. Know? I love the character, too. Yeah,
his character, it's weird saying this, because he was, like, no one's really, like, innocent in this. They painted him in a relatively sympathetic light.
Yeah, and it's the performance by Matthew McConaughey in particular that does it, because that dude, as soon as he's on screen, he immediately commands your likability. You're like, oh, Matthew McConaughey. And the character, in many ways, is the most tragic in the movie because he constantly is just like, yeah, no, I'm doing the right thing. I want to make sure my kids are X, Y, Z, all of these things that I want them to be. But it's just like, no, man, that's not how you raise kids.
Yeah.
You're like, and you want to see him get it right because you can tell he loves his two kids, but fuck, he just can't.
But Rick Wershey, like, that's what's weird is... Wershey Jr., you can kind of get the impression that even though he may not be like super book smart or whatever, that he sees through shit.
Yeah,
like,
he's sharp.
He's got the street smarts, and that's why, like, when he starts selling drugs as the movie's main focus is he just kind of like he kind of just enters that world so nonchalantly, and he just kind of thinks he gets away with it.
Right.
And in some ways he does, and in a lot of ways he ends up not. But for the immediate time being when he starts, things just seem to work out. And of course his sister also seemed Dawn Worshie, played by Belle Powley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she also kind of sees through it, but she's much more visceral about it.
Right. Yeah, it's a really messed up family situation. I think it's really brought to light extremely well by the performances. What did you think about... Well, I guess let's dive into...
Well, let's get the basic plot out there.
Yeah, so basically Richard Worshie, or Ricky Worshie Jr., played by Richie Merritt in this, he's like a 14, 15-year-old kid, and he, through some form or another, gets involved with the FBI, through his dad, basically, because his dad's selling guns illegally. And the FBI agents who are going after his dad kind of pull him aside and say, like, hey, what if we got you to be an informant for us, and you buy drugs on behalf of us, so we can build a case against some of these guys running East Detroit into the ground, and you can keep some of the profits from it. Like, what do you think about that? And he's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So lo and behold, he builds a career, builds a whole lot of wealth, buying drugs and pushing drugs on behalf of the is it the Curry gang in East Detroit?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, and it's a really interesting story because, again, this kid's a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's doing all of this.
Yeah, it's like by the time he was 16, he was an informant for the FBI. And, of course, this is based on a true story.
Yes.
There's one weird criticism I kept seeing a lot of places saying, like, the movie, it blows things out of proportion. It portrays him as if he was, like, a big-time player. And I don't really think it does. I think the portrayal of Worshie Jr., it's more like he thought he was a bigger time than he was.
It's very honest.
Yeah,
it's not trying to...
I don't think it portrayed him as, like, he was running the whole city.
Right.
He had some... It portrayed him as a guy who had some connections.
Right. He made some connections. He networked, if you will.
Yeah.
He worked the block, and he made a lot of money doing it. More than any 15-year-old would. And
the Blue Ranger was there to help him.
He sure was.
R.J. Seiler.
Yeah, man, he's good. He had a good...
I want to see more of that kid. He's a good actor.
He's good as the Blue Ranger. He's good in this. He was in something else this year, I think. Wasn't he in like a horror movie or something?
I don't know. Why don't you look it up?
I guess he wasn't. He was in a couple movies I haven't seen, but he's masterful in Me and Earl and the Dying Girl as Earl.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that he had one other real big one.
Yeah, man, he's great.
Yeah, the cast all around's really good.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy who plays Lil Man Curry, but he was...
His name is Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
And he's great.
He had a very, I don't know, kind of commanding,
very, like, unhinged and, like, kind of just always, like, you're unpredictable. Like, he's got a scary energy about him.
Yeah, he had a certain presence to him.
Yeah.
And every scene he was in, you could definitely feel it. Mm-hmm. And, God, fuck, it's just impossible to talk about this movie without spoilers.
Yeah, which is weird, because it's a true story.
Couple more general comments, we're moving to spoilers.
Performances are good.
Performances are more than good.
Overall, they're good, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, Richie Merritt he's a young kid.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, and maybe this is what the kids that Richard Worshie Jr.'s really like, but, like, he wasn't that expressive.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it wasn't like...
I couldn't tell if that was the point.
Yeah.
It might have been.
It kind of seemed like he was sort of like soft-spoken. That was just his way. Yeah. But that's kind of what I'm saying, is he wasn't like making a big show. He's like, what's up, guys? Just like walks in the back like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I just want to, like, sell some drugs and hang out and be cool.
Right. But make no mistake, this is the Matthew McConaughey show, and
yes.
he does an incredible job as White Boy Rick's father. But moving on now, we're good for spoilers. Or do you have anything else you wanted to add? Looks great. The movie looks really, really good.
Yeah, I think it does a good job of portraying the city. Mm-hmm. It portrays it as, pretty honestly. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I usually tend to get annoyed by, is when movies try to overdo things. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that happens a lot with movies in Boston. It's just like, yeah, Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, Southie.
We're gonna get the party started. It's just like
I'm gonna park the car in the yard. Pretty much. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's like it's easy to caricaturize a city, you know. But in many ways, this movie, again, it just feels it felt very authentic. It felt like a very authentic retelling of the events that happen, sometimes to a fault. And on that, let's get into some spoilers.
All right, so let's talk some spoilers. I just want to get this scene out of the way. That scene where they have to get Dawn, where they pick her up from the
flop house.
Yeah, the trap house or whatever they called it back then. Mm-hmm. Is that a modern term?
I have no idea.
I don't fucking know.
The drug den.
The drug den. That was just gut wrenching.
That whole sequence where I'm like, that's what I mean by like he is a good dad. Like he's clean. He's making sure his daughter's clean, but like. You sell firearms illegally, like that's just. But it's weird.
Also like to get to that point,
where it's like you're literally firemen's carrying her out of the fucking drug den. Like, oh, God.
Well, you know, it's like one of the best lines that I think summed up the whole movie. And I got a good chuckle out of my theater. It's like I can't remember what Matthew McConaughey says exactly. He says something along the lines of like, "I think I'm doing all right as a father," and then he's just like. Your daughter's addicted to like crack, and I'm shitting in a bag. That's after he gets shot in the abdomen, so he has the colostomy bag.
That got a laugh from our audience also.
Yeah, and it's just like I thought, so poignant.
Yeah, man, and that was a rough one. The other rough one where I'm like, oh man, is the sort of the post Vegas trip where Johnny Lil Man Curry shoots up what he thinks is the one dude's house. Yeah. It is his house, but he's not there. And like the one brother gets shot, and like the other.
You're talking about the guy like Leon something?
Leon Lucas, I think was his name.
The guy who got them the fake tickets to Hearns Hagler.
Yeah.
Which was awesome that they included Hearns Hagler.
Yeah, man. Ah, so crazy.
Detroit boxing.
Yeah. But that fucking scene where it's just like, it's like the aftermath, and like the one brother goes over to the other brother and is like, hey man, hold on, I'm going to call the police. And he's just like telling him to like be okay. And I'm like, you're like 7 years old. I'm like, fuck, this is fucked up. But really good, man.
It's like, there's a lot of scenes that just kind of, it's the harsh realities.
Yeah, like
it's like similar,
him getting shot.
It's like similar to Heat.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, nothing about
glamorous.
It. No, there's nothing glamorous. It portrays the ugliness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like spinning like Sidekick.
Yeah.
Hi-yah!
It's not
like
a John
flying
Woo
through
movie.
there. Yeah. It's not a John Woo movie where
Face Off.
He makes a wuxia dance out of shooting each other.
Yeah.
This is about as grounded as it gets.
They're gonna do the haka before they have a shootout.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you mean. That's the thing I get, and I haven't even seen 71, but just from the trailers, it's like this is a director that's all about the authenticity.
Yeah, because that's the thing is 71. The initial trailer kind of made it look like more of like action, but it's definitely not.
Right.
71. It's incredibly gritty and fuck it. I don't want to give it away, but
right.
71's some good shit. You
I gotta check it out.
You really gotta see it.
Yeah, and
I would say
this.
just kind of off the top of my head, I liked 71 better than this.
I would imagine. Yeah, that's the impression I got too talking with you about it.
Right, because this was good, but one thing I guess so we've done some of the good. Mm-hmm. We've talked about some key feature scenes.
Yes.
There now I guess like things we noticed / bad. Well, I'd like to start. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the portrayal of the dad is some people disagreed with it. Mm-hmm. Like said he wasn't really a sympathetic person in real life. I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. Because I've just read accounts. So
right.
That's all I really have to go off of. There was that, and I don't really think that would have taken away from the movie, at least. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the nature of the game, though, and it's like kind of why I find the based on true story thing kind of tedious sometimes.
Yeah, no, especially in taking liberties with certain elements of the story.
Right. It's
for
like,
effect.
Because it's like there's certain times where it's, I guess I don't notice or care as much. Mm-hmm. Like Scorsese's kind of an exception to the rule. If he changes stuff, it doesn't really matter to me because I feel like he wants to tell the story his way no matter what.
Right.
Or based on whatever like book he uses, he just kind of rolls with it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, I don't know, just like with a lot of other true story movies, it just kind of irks me when I learn, like, what the fuck? What do you mean that didn't happen?
Yeah, like, well, what's your biggest offender?
Oh, Jesus Christ. The worst offender of that, obviously, is Saving Mr. Banks, because for those of you playing at home, Saving Mr. Banks was the one about Walt Disney trying to convince P.L. Travers, the writer of Mary Poppins, to sign over the rights.
Yep.
Except in real life, she already signed over the rights. So the whole movie is her complaining, like, "Oh, you suck. I don't want to sign over the rights." And then he convinced her. She said, "Oh, all right." Except in real life, it was already done. Walt Disney had said something along the lines of, "That ship has sailed." When she tried bitching about, like, "I want the rights back because you're fucking up my thing."
Right.
And then on top of that, the most egregious error. In the movie theater at the end, she's crying because she's so happy. Because it reminds her of Daddy in England. In real life, she was crying because she fucking hated the movie.
Right.
She was crying because she was so frustrated. And I'm not saying, like, I agree or disagree with either party, Walt Disney or P.L. Travers. I'm just saying that's bullshit.
You lied.
You lied. The whole movie, the whole premise of the movie didn't happen. This, as far as I know... Yes, he was.
The big shit happened.
Yeah.
Like, him getting shot happened.
He had a daughter.
Right. All of that stuff pretty much happened. The drug addiction of the sister. There's just some, like, little ancillary things like, Ricky Wershey Sr.'s attitude towards the FBI agents that White Boy Rick was working for. Like, that's not what it was or whatever. Like,
That was sort of a bigger one, but I was willing to roll with it for the sake of the movie.
Right, just for the sake of, like, we need more conflict.
Yeah, because he was, in the movie, he's portrayed as like, "No, I don't want you near my boy." And, like, apparently, senior in real life was like, this could be a lucrative opportunity or whatever.
Right, which might, I guess, elucidate some of the, maybe the real Ricky Wershey Sr. was not a great dude.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to say. I love his big comeuppance when I have the video store.
Oh God, it's so sad. It's like that's his. That's his going to Fiji. If this were Heat, if it's De Niro's character, it's like the video store. It's like, oh man, that's never gonna happen.
But
dude.
What's weird is you're so sure it's not gonna happen. At least the way it's portrayed in the movie, and it does.
Yeah.
And then like things seem to go swimmingly. And then, like, things are starting to come together, and then they fall apart again.
Yeah, towards the end, which is weird because the movie feels like and this is one of my biggest issues with the movie, but it's also one of my biggest pros with the movie, is the authenticity of the story and how it's presented. It feels like real life.
It chronicles, like, 3 or 4 years of Wershey Jr.'s life.
Yeah, because there's a part where when the Curry gang goes down, which is like 2/3 of the way through the movie, that feels like the end of the movie.
Yeah, it kind of did.
So you're like, why are we still doing this? And then you realize by the end, by like, oh shit, you realize like this whole movie is basically Jan Demange and the screenwriters, like, you acting as a juror watching Ricky Wershey Jr.'s life. And basically by the end of the movie, when you realize that he's going to be on trial and you learn that he goes to prison for the rest of his life, you as an audience member are supposed to look at that and kind of, I would say, correctly be like, well, what the fuck? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really do anything, especially in context of all these other violent, like, in the context of, like, all the really bad shit that goes on in Detroit.
Yeah,
he did some bad shit and should go to prison. But, like,
the sentence was too long.
Oh, yeah. And, like, the whole premise of the 650 lifer statute in Detroit is, like, very weird, especially when it concerns, like, nonviolent drug dealers and, like, people who deal drugs that have never... It's weird, man. Like, when Little Man Curry, like, when they showed in the post-text that he got out, like, he only spent 20 years for being connected to the murder of a fucking child.
Yeah.
And, like, Ricky Wershey Jr. here is to spend the rest of his life in jail, potentially. It's like, no, I don't care. Like, that's wrong. That's morally wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, he should be in jail, but not for... Oh, man. And that's where the depressing element comes in. This sucks.
Well, that's the other thing is, a lot of super depressing movies have some element of realism.
Yeah. Harsh realism.
Well, Patriots Day obviously had the scars of a real life terrorism event. Mm-hmm. This had, scars of like people's lives just being ruined.
Yeah.
And even Grave of Fireflies, which is animated, World War II happened. and I don't know if that movie is based specifically off of any real stories, but it's just like
felt real.
Oh, Jesus Christ, did it feel real for a cartoon? I was just like, fuck, I need to get outside. I need sunlight, damn it. Luckily, we saw Mad Max Fury Road, which was like the perfect way to be like,
breath of fresh air.
Violence when it's fun.
Yeah.
And,
oh, man.
And those cars, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Cars.
And the guitars.
Cars and guitars, it's a perfect, diversion from like, isn't life shitty? No, 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 no. Those strings come in, they're just like stabbing the heart. It's like, geez. But then the cars and guitars. And
yes.
Like, thank God. That guitar shoots flamethrowers. Anyway, this was kind of rough. Like, I wouldn't put it on like my top like 10 list of like, Jesus, like,
yeah, no, it's not.
This is no
bad.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape
in
terms of depressing ass movies, but like, I don't know if I'd say depressing. It's glum.
It's very glum.
It's glum. I wouldn't go as far as depressing, but it's harsh and it's glum.
And the end, especially, is very sad.
And I think part of that came from, as you said, it's kind of a weird like detractor and sort of a positive thing, was the pacing was a bit weird because of the way it chronicled the 3 or 4 years. But to me, there was times where I'm like, all right, I get that you're doing your weird like art thing, but like, where the fuck is this going? Like, I wasn't bored, but I'm like, just fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
I was just like, come on, I want to see what happens next. Which I guess is good because that beats the alternative. I'm like, please just end.
Yeah, that was the exact same way until like now. Like, looking back, it's like, oh, I get why they did this scene. But like at the time, I was like, where are we going with this? Like, what is this about? But it is one of those movies. I look back in hindsight, it's like it's a lot better than it was while I was watching it. It's a lot. I think it's a lot better looking back than it is while I was watching it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So, what did you think about? As much as the acting was great, I don't know if you thought the same. Did you feel like some lines were a little clunkily delivered?
On the part of who?
Well, just I think everyone had one where I'm like,
well, there's some
like
where
there was the. I think it was just because it was so on the nose. Mm-hmm. Like you're the worst father ever, and it's like,
oh yeah,
something just felt weird about that.
Yeah, they did do a bunch of those were there, but for me, it's like they tried to do some stuff where they tried to Nolan, I call it, where it's like they do they bring up a line or they bring up a thing and they just keep planting and paying it off throughout the movie, like
the
Lions of the Serengeti and shit like that. Like at the end, like one of the last things that fucking like McConaughey says, like,
looks
"You're my lion" or whatever. And I'm like,
that's what I mean. I felt like everyone had like one like little line. Again, I don't think it met my five shitty lines to start docking points.
Right.
It was just I couldn't help but notice there's a couple times I'm like, it felt weirder because based on the rest of their performance, which was so good, it felt like out of place to have that one line I wasn't buying.
Yeah, I get you. It's definitely, oh man, it's weird. I think it's a weird story in that it's maybe some of these things were said. I look at the tone and I'm like, was this like how thorough is this movie in research?
Yeah,
it's like, but. Overall, yeah, I think it's a conundrum of a movie in that its biggest asset and its biggest fault are the fact that it's such a grounded thing. It's so grounded that it feels real, but it's like it's so grounded that it moves like real life in many ways. Yeah,
that's the thing is like I understand you can do that as a choice. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It seems like it probably was, but to me, like that is sort of a detractor because there's times where I'm like. The up and down, the drop in action. I'm like, all right, can we move this along a little? Mm-hmm. So overall, though, it was a solid movie, well crafted.
Yes.
Highlight performances.
Yes, particularly on the part of McConaughey.
I thought Belle Powley was particularly good as well.
Yes, very convincing.
Jesus Christ, I keep forgetting his name. Little Man Curry.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, fantastic.
Yeah, it's an overall very solid flick.
All right, so
probably a good cable watch.
Yeah, I would say this would be an excellent FX rainy day.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know if that's like fair because I usually I'm giving this a actually yeah no I gave something else the same score and I said the same remark I believe, but I thought it was pretty damn good. It was worth seeing. So what would you score it?
Take a guess.
7.5.
Oh no, just a 7.
Okay, it's weird because I was gonna I scored a 3.5.
Yeah, no, we felt the same.
Yeah,
and I agree.
That's weird.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's a solid watch, but not the best. I said after walking out, I'm like, this is not the best version of what this was, but it's a good version of what it is.
But it's a 10.5 out of 15.
Yes, that's good.
Overall, it was a solid movie. So that does it for the review section. Unless you have closing remarks.
Not a closing remark, but an update. I'd like to retract my review of The Predator last week and give you a new score. I'd give it probably a 6 upon second thought.
Yeah, it's no good.
Well, it's not bad. I still say it's not that bad, but now that I thought, I sat on some of the plot elements, and it's a little silly. A little bit more silly than I even...
No, it's okay. We do this sometimes. Cause
especially at preview screenings, I do it.
Yeah.
I get to see Predator before everybody else, even though it's 4 days.
That's what everyone says is so bad about the
test screening process.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, it happens. I dropped my Deadpool score a bit. Mm-hmm. I went from a 4 to a 3.5.
Deadpool 2?
Yeah, or Deadpool 2, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that a couple times.
All right. So, in total, 10.5 out of 15.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to episode 26 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert.
Dude, I got it. I just thought of it. I thought of the Marvel characters. I thought of some good ones for that streaming service.
Out with it, damn you.
Okay, so, in an amazing twist, picture this. Now, everyone, I'm doing a big, hand circle motion while I'm saying picture this. Picture this. So, in the spirit of the Sinister Six thing, the movie that never happened, but what if we did something else instead? You did the Serpent Society. You did all, Captain America's villains?
Yeah.
Starring none other than Diamondback as the lead.
That's an idea.
Oh, man. Okay, Diamondback has to be best buds with Agent 13, Sharon Carter. So there's a combination of two Sony things that never happened. It's a combination of Silver and Black, because it's enemies who have to be best buds, and a weird collection of villains where you're well, how the hell is this going to work without the hero? In Sinister Six. There we go. Diamondback.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Good idea, sir.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you all for listening to episode 26.
Hold up. I got a couple more. Triathlon. You know that guy? He was on the Avengers in the Alan Davis era, 2000. Him and Jack of Hearts. There we go. They each get their own season.
Of the same show?
No.
Or different shows?
Different shows.
Oh, man.
What are you, a madman?
Oh, man.
I mean, they were on the same team in the Avengers, but still.
Team-up show?
Nah, man. They gotta have separate. They can meet together in a...
We'll have a Defenders-esque team-up show.
A weird Defenders, where it's Thunderstrike. so the not good Thor.
Yes.
Sorry. Diamondback. Hey, fuck it. We'll have some of the Constrictor and whoever the fuck. Yo, Wrecking Crew.
There you go.
Fuck it, no.
Ox.
Okay. God damn it. You stole my idea, you bastard. How did you know I was going to go there?
Because everybody loves the vest, man.
Ox. Not even fucking joking. Disney, you got the money. You could make it. You can make anything work, basically.
Let's do it. Fucking Ox. Maybe get some big man going on there. The dude with the lasso and the cowboy hat. I don't know what the fuck his name is.
I think Big Wheel should be the big bad. Just to be annoying.
Big Wheel. What about the Wall? We gonna get the Wall in this? I mean, we gotta go.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of them. And then you could get some real weird sea level villains like there's. I mean, I was about to say Machete, but there's probably 10 different Machetes in the Marvel universe. Get some Venom with 2 M's.
Right.
From Black Panther's lore.
I can dig it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
not even joking. Fuck all my other ideas. Yeah, Ox. You read my goddamn mind.
Let's go. The
All right.
Enforcers, that was the name of the group. They were led by Big Man, then you had Fancy Dan and Montana, who had the lasso, I think, and then Ox with the vest. He was the heavy.
There we go.
Let's go. Enforcers
it.
show.
Enforcers, man.
Oh, man.
So, okay, I'm sorry, I had to interject.
That's okay. Well, now, thank you for listening to episode 26 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I've been...
I got one more thing.
What's that?
So, you know who mentioned Creed last time?
Yes.
I just want to say something. Like, Mark Tremonti's a good fucking guitarist. People can piss off if like, you know, you can hate on Creed. But listen to that guy play solo, man. He's a talented musician, okay? Like,
an artist, damn it.
He's a talented artiste of the sixth string. Yeah, maybe some of his songs that he played with Creed are like not your cup of tea, but you know what?
He was there for you.
Creed was there for you with arms wide open.
Oh, God.
They wish to take you higher.
That's okay.
To a place where blind men see. And they ask the important questions like, what if?
What if?
What if?
God.
Whew. All right, I'm done fucking interrupting.
All right. Well, would you like to take us out then? Because I'm a little beat.
All right. Thank you for listening to episode 26 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. Got comments, questions, qualms, concerns? Drop us a line. You can drop us a line at our Facebook. You know, just search Bonus Features with Alex and Robert on the Facebook. You can find us at YouTube. Same thing. Bonus Features with Alex and Robert on the YouTubes. And the SoundClouds. Not super active there, but hey, you know what? Go for it. So thanks again for listening. See you guys next time. Is there a movie you'd like us to review? Give us your worst movie. Give us your best movie. Give us your scariest movie. Give us your longest movie. I can't promise that I'll watch your longest movie, because if it's like 5 hours, I'm definitely not going to watch it.
Give us your movie with the most copious use of trees coming to life and strangling people.
Yes, you know what? I'd like to know that. If you have like a super prominent usage of that in your movie, go for it. I've seen Evil Dead though, and I've seen Wizard of Oz, although they weren't strangling. But those trees, they weren't fucking around.
They're very grabby.
They're jerks. They're throwing things. Like, why didn't Dorothy just be like, are you fucking 5? Can you stop throwing apples at me, you asshole? What did I do to you? Anyway, thanks again for listening. See you guys next time.